back here at the Cave of Science, and we're going to look at how to create the cross-sectional graph for your hydrology project. What we found is that the website Create a Graph is probably the easiest and the best way to accomplish this. This is linked up on your Symbaloo, and I believe it's also linked up uh, on your page of directions for the hydrology project. So when you get to the website, it's going to look something like this on the opening page, and you'll want to do an area graph. And you can, there's all sorts of things if you want to colorize this thing, and I'm not going to get into every single one here, but we want an area graph, so that's our design. You can change background color, grid color, 3D, whatever you want to do, as much as you really want to dress up the graph. We're going to look at the data, so you're going to put in a title, a cross section, and I'm not going to get real extensive with this. And then always label the x-axis. It's going to be width, and this is either going to be in feet or inches, whatever you measured in. And the y-axis is going to be depth, and I imagine that's going to probably be in inches. The data set, the item label is always going to be your x, and the value is going to be your y. Now you may have up to, probably could have up to 20 or so items in your particular graph, depending on how many intervals you measured across the stream. And I'm just going to stick with 5 here. The first one's always got to be 0. And then I'm going to go across, and if I used inches, so it would be 6 inches across, and I did 12 inches across, and I did 18 inches across, and let's just say I got to the other side, that's also going to be 0. Now you may have done this by feet too, which maybe I'll change that. That might be a little bit better. So we'll go 0.5, and we'll go 1 and 1.5, and I gotta make sure I change width. I'll just change that to feet. Alright, I guess that'll work. And in here is going to be your depth, and you know at the beginning it's going to be 0, and it's got to be 0 on the other side. And I'm just going to come up with some numbers here, and I guess I did my depth. I did my depth in inches. I'm just going to put some numbers in. 12, and let's say it was 18, and let's say it came up 6 on the other side. So I've got my data in. And here's where you really, this is the key part here to make this graph work, your min value and your max value. So when you do this, your minimum value, you've got to reverse this, and you find your greatest depth is going to be 18, whatever your greatest depth is, and your max value is going to be 0. From there, you can do all sorts. Again, you can dress this up as much as you like, background color and fonts and so forth. But from there, you can preview, and you can see now we got 0 at the top because we are measuring depth. And we would start at 0, got a little deeper as it went over, and then it came back up. And so this is how you want your graph to look. Again, you're measuring depth. It's not going to be negative numbers, it's going to be positive numbers. And then from there, you can go to print save. What I would do, I would download this as a PDF or a PNG file, and then save it to your school file. And then you can insert this into your hydrology project. And so that's how you put together your cross-sectional graph. Pretty quick to do. We've used this for several years now, and it works well. So hopefully this helps you out with that, and we'll see you during class during the week.